Anyways, it's time for the news. So,
Hey, this was news.
well, no.
This was news to me.
So, anyways, okay, we're basically looking at Dr. Becky's video again, another Dr. Becky video, because I can't find, since I'm working at work all the time, I can't find any of the news. So, anyways, interesting thing here, I didn't know this, but, like, once you get above the 50th, once you get above, 50 longitude or whatever, latitude, I should say.
Yeah.
Once you get above 50 latitude, you don't, in the summer, you don't get pure darkness anymore.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And I had no idea.
I don't remember what specific latitude, but I do recall something vaguely like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, so I was talking to Outback, and he's got a cabin, and so like we were watching the Lunar Eclipse, and it's got two. So his house as parents, it's a class 4. It's basically my parents, and then then he's got a cabin.
No, it's class 4. It's like our house.
My dad's house. Your parents.
I thought yours was like yours is like a class 3, 4, almost 3 or
no. Your parents is a class 5. My dad's is smack dab in the
no.
middle. No,
ours is a class 4.
It's barely a class 4. It's more or less more like a 5.
It's like a 4.5. I thought yours is like a 4.
Okay. Well, anyways, his parents is a 4, and then they've got a cabin in Minnesota that's a 3, and then they've got a cabin in Canada that's a class 1. And then yeah, but then because we were because I was talking about where we go, and he's like, well,
he has 2 cabins.
His parents do, I guess. Anyways, they only go to the Canada one once a year though, and he hasn't been there since COVID, so. And
it's a class 1?
Yeah, he finally gets to go there this summer. And I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, that's going to be really cool. And then I watched Dr. Becky's video, and she's like, Oxford. I'm like, Oxford? That's not that far north. It's like 51, 52. So I'm like, okay, it's a little further north than I thought. Well, the Canada border is 49.
49. Yeah, 49th parallel.
So I texted Outback. I'm like, "Where's your parents' thing? Is it like deep in Canada?" He's like, "No, it's like close to the border." And so I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, figure out a town close to it. You might want to double check." And I think he said though that he's good, that he does get actual nighttime
in the summer.
Yeah, he does get this actual darkness. So, but anyways, it's just whack that I was just like, I had no idea that it's that far north that you just don't get night like an actual nighttime. Like it's twilight, so it's still dark, but it's not.
Well, keep in mind it's like a gradient,
right?
So it's like probably at around 50th parallel is when it starts to become observant, but only during the solstice. Because the solstice is when the sun reaches its furthest north position at solar noon.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it does not get any farther north. Yeah, that's how that works, yeah.
Okay, gotta find Mullen here. I was able to find
Mullen's at like 42.
Yeah, it's not much further north, but it's still, we don't actually get that much, like, pure nighttime. Where?
Are you kidding me? What about when we went in November? Bro, we couldn't see our hand in front of our face.
Well, I mean, that's November. This is now.
Oh, yeah, I guess we should also clarify. It was cloudy. Yeah, so when we went in November, it was so cloudy, we could not see a single star. But on top of that, because we were in a Portal 1, it was so freaking dark, we could not see our hand in front of our face.
Yeah,
I remember we went to run to the road or whatever, And then I was like, "Hey, Doc, where'd you go? Are you nearby?" And he's like right behind me.
Yeah, that was kind of sketch. But yeah, if we look at this Molin one here, we're going. Okay, it's broken. We're going right about here. This is May 30th, June 1. It's about middle of our trip. So, night starts at 10:19.
Yeah,
True night.
true night.
And that ends at 3 a.m.
That sounds about right.
So, also, okay, in the news, so we had the lunar eclipse. That was fun. Did any of you watch it? I watched it.
Yeah, I got a few pictures.
I missed the beginning because I wasn't think I was like, ah, it's just
Oh,
the
the
beginning one.
penumbral face.
The penumbral face is the coolest freaking part.
It looks like a shadow.
As it moves across the moon, oh, it looks so cool. I watched it as I was like driving to the worm fields to meet with Outback. It was like half, but like
Wormfields.
yeah, where we hunted worms back freshman year.
Oh,
Anyways, so there's a conjunction of I don't know if you guys read my text at all, but
yeah, Mars and Jupiter or something.
yeah, Mars and Jupiter are gonna be like right next to the moon. Oh no, that was the moon for scale. Sorry.
Moon?
No, sorry, that was the sorry. They were using the moon for scale. Sorry, but no, this is gonna be like she was talking about like what it's gonna look like in the binoculars, and like it's respective to the size of the moon. And I'm like, well, it's actually good. They're actually gonna be pretty far apart in my binoculars. My binoculars are actually
That'll be at like 3 a.m.
yeah, but like I was thinking we could get I don't know. Hopefully we get one clear day, but that's fourth
Yeah,
segment.
have you
So.
been looking at the weather?
Oh, I have.
It's cloudy
Oh, I know.
all the days.
I know.
It's cloudy.
I know. We'll talk about that in the fourth segment. Anyways, so okay, so let's go over some more news here. So Kyle will like this one. The OSIRIS-REx mission has been expanded, and instead of bringing the samples back sooner, they're gonna actually no. I think it's gonna send the samples back, but then it's gonna swing by Apophis.
Office.
Kyle.
Oh, is this the meteor?
Yeah, that's the one that was supposed to end the world, but like she showed
Yeah,
a,
2029.
she showed a little.
Passes at a distance of about 10 times closer than the
showed a what?
moon is.
So here's this animation she shows. So basically, these are like our geosynchronous satellites, and then here's Apophis.
Wait. Hang on. I don't have the stream on. Where's Apophis?
So here's the geosynchronous satellites, the blue dots,
Oh,
and then this yellow
yeah.
line is Apophis.
What is that, like 18,000 miles away?
She
From
says it's pretty damn close. Anyways, oh yeah, it's gonna get really close. She said it's gonna be visible to the naked eye.
Really?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how cool it would be if you're looking up and also Apophis eclipses the sun?
Well, it's not
I know,
that
like-
big.
Well, like, it would still be an eclipse of some sort. It wouldn't be a total eclipse.
Yo, let's watch the video of the car upside down.
What? No, it's just
Ask Adam Savage.
it's
I want to
just
see
him
how.
talking. He doesn't actually show
What?
any footage.
Oh, I thought they flipped the car upside down.
Well, it's from MythBusters. If you watched MythBusters. Anyways, so
You know, Adam Savage and Jamie didn't get along.
yeah,
Yeah, I found that out too, like a little while ago.
I found
And I was
out
like,
after
what?
the show ended.
That made I was like stunned.
It made sense. 'Cause-
Well, I guess they were just like two different people.
oh yes,
Adam always liked to joke around, and Jamie was always kind of very serious.
Hmm
yes, the walrus. Oh yeah, my hypothesis states that. I'm Jamie from Indiana. Anyways, so Yeah. Okay.
No.
Also, Insight detected the largest Mars quake ever.
Earthquake?
Yeah, it was like a magnitude 5. And she's like, "That's small for here on Earth," and I'm like, "What?" I mean, yes, we've had magnitude 9s, which again is their scales of 10, but
We've
I'm
had like
like,
9.8.
but I'm like, but a 5 would cause some damage, right? Because like threes are like the average, and like threes and fours like the damage is like the normal stuff you'd see in California, right? Fives are like, whoa, that was a pretty big earthquake, causes some actual damage and stuff, right?
Well, I mean, you got to remember our buildings are a lot weaker than rock, right?
Well, yeah, but like she's just like, oh, a 5 isn't that? A 5 is not that
As
powerful.
soon as
I'm
the
like,
ground shakes, the buildings come crashing down. And the ground can always reform and settle.
well, anyway, she's
Buildings can't resettle.
again, she's like a 5. It's not that powerful. I'm like, to you, to like a
It'll probably knock
Nebraskan
you off your
who has
feet.
never felt an earthquake, a 5 would be pretty damn powerful. 5 freaked
Wait,
me
wasn't
out.
there an earthquake once in Nebraska? You
Yeah,
said
a
There's
something
couple
fell
years.
off
there's
your
been all
shelf or
kinds of
something?
earthquakes.
That was a couple years ago, or like a year ago.
It was like a magnitude 2. The ground was just settling pretty much.
I didn't even and see when it happened. I don't know what I was doing, but I do not recall anything out of the ordinary.
I mean, it happened in Valentine. It didn't happen here.
What? I thought it was felt here.
Like by the detectors.
Oh.
You know, freaking they can detect this pen dropping if you know, whatever. Anyways, so yeah, yeah. Anyways, back to the news. So that's interesting. We're learning, but and they're extending that mission. But this mission, basically, the InSight rover lander is basically dead once the solar panels get covered up. Because this is back from when NASA did not do nuclear stuff, and so yeah.
Did they not install like an air hose?
See, that's what I'm like. That's what I'm curious about. Like, is an air compressor just too heavy and not necessary that like it wouldn't like you couldn't extend the mission long enough with it? So I don't know. I've always wondered that.
Yeah, can they not compress? Is the air too thin to compress?
I don't know. But maybe we
Because
need to.
in theory, an air compressor runs on indefinitely, however long the belts last.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the belts break, well, then yeah, you're kind of
We
done
could
for.
probably, and I'm sure we could build one that doesn't require a belt.
Is that a thing?
I'm sure if we just get a
Oh,
direct drive, or just use a
oh yeah. So there's
gearbox.
no motors that need shaft.
No, if we just basically we have the actual pump mechanism, and we basically just
Mhm.
stick the we just have a small gearbox and then just stick the electric motor right onto that. Boom, problem solved.
Hmm.
Basically direct drive. You're gonna want a gearbox because it would just it'd be stupid to not have a gearbox. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe they can't keep the motor cool enough. I don't know. I don't know. I maybe we need to work for NASA. But unfortunately, I don't think NASA has any plans to go back to Mars. Not before manned missions. So
Yeah.
uh,
Elon will help you get there.
they're going deep space now. They're going to Europa and stuff. So, which I didn't
Oh,
know
that'll be
this, but
cool.
the Europa Clipper mission replaced the drilling mission they were gonna do.
The what?
So they had a mission where they were gonna drill into the ice.
Oh,
They
on Mars?
no on Europa,
Oh.
but they replaced that with the Europa Clipper mission.
What's the Clipper mission?
They're basically it's gonna go orbit around Jupiter and Europa, and it's basically gonna take measures. So like they've got ice volcanoes on all these moons, and
Yeah.
so the plan is to basically fly it through the debris field of these ice volcanoes, and then see if they can find remnants of life in that. which is unfortunate. I wanted to see like actual life. Like, hey, look, we detected bacteria. Great, but what if there's more? You know, we don't know what's underneath that ice. We've got like axolotl type things. Maybe not something that complex, but you know, worms. You know, worms on.
Would you say axolotl?
Yeah.
What's an axolotl?
It's axolotl.
What?
In the actual Maztec language, you pronounce the X with the ch.
It still
Yeah,
doesn't
but no,
tell
I'm
me
asking what is it?
They live in caves. They're kind of like they're a type of amphibian. They can't.
It's a type of salamander.
I said
in
amphibian.
Minecraft.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's that. Perseverance reached the river delta it was supposed to go to, and this is an ad. But yeah, it reached the river delta. So that's like.
Oh, I've seen those.
Oh my god.
Anyways, it's reached its river delta that it's supposed to go to, which is a pretty big deal, because that means it's finally started. It can start its actual mission. But like, so now the big thing is like trying to figure out where they want to stop, because like they've only got so many samples they can take, and so it's like, where do they want to do these samples, and they got to figure that out.
Yeah.
And then she talks about a supermassive black hole and its magnetic field flipping. And there's a whole thing about what's caused it. There's a possibility of like something internally happening on the black hole that's causing it to flip, which would be very interesting. So that was pretty cool. Not a lot. I mean, I guess also. Where was it? Just do full alignment next to Osiris Rex. Oh, J2ST is still fully aligned, but we talked about that last time. So, not a lot of interesting news, but still news nonetheless. Now it's time for the